Let's get right into it. Welcome back to another Explainer. Today we're heading down to Guadalajara, Mexico for what honestly might just be one of the absolutely most thrilling group stage matchups of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are talking about a game that literally had it all. Tactical stalemates, crazy intense pressure, and just a breathtaking comeback that had us all holding our breath until the literal last second of stoppage time.
Okay, let's dive into this. The final whistle blows, and the score? 2-1 in favor of South Korea over Czechia. Snagging those 3 points to kick off a tournament run is massive, you know? But listen, this was not just your everyday, routine win. The journey to get those 2 goals was an absolute roller coaster of momentum shifts.
So it really begs the question, right? How exactly did South Korea pull off this dramatic comeback? Because honestly, for over an hour of this match, things were looking incredibly dire for the Taeguk Warriors. To really understand how they flipped the script, we first need to look at how these two teams lined up from the very opening whistle.
Section 1. Tactical Mirrors.
So both squads actually rolled out identical 3-4-2-1 formations. South Korea had Son Heung-min leading the line, and Czechia literally matched them shape for shape everywhere on the pitch. And, when two teams mirror each other tactically like this, you rarely ever see a systemic mismatch. Instead, the whole game just becomes this brutal test of individual execution, discipline, and sheer willpower. Every single pass, every tackle, it all carries double the weight because there are just no free spaces on the board.
Section 2. Maximum Peril.
Right? So picture this. It's the 59th minute, and Czechia finally breaks the deadlock. Ladislav Krejci finds the back of the net with a header, and bam! Czechia is up 1-0. Suddenly, South Korea is staring down a massive hole. And we all know the unforgiving landscape of a World Cup group stage, right? Falling behind in your opening match can basically doom your entire tournament hopes right out of the gate. The pressure on the South Korean squad in that exact moment was absolutely astronomical.
Section 3. The comeback arc.
Now what's really interesting here is the response. Czechia scores at the 59-minute mark. But instead of crumbling, South Korea responds with this ferocious urgency. Just 8 minutes later, we're talking the 67th minute, Hwang In-beom strikes this beautiful low right-footed shot to equalize, 1-1. The momentum completely swings. Then, South Korea brings on Oh Hyeon-gyu off the bench. And in the 80th minute, he delivers this incredibly clutch left-footed finish to put them ahead 2-1. I mean, what a stunning 21-minute sequence. They completely rewrote the story of the match.
Section 4. A modern legend.
Let's take a second to look at how this performance builds a legacy. Hwang In-beom didn't just score that crucial equalizer, right? He actually provided the assist for the winning goal, too. That makes him only the 3rd South Korean player ever to record both a goal and an assist in a single World Cup match. Ever! The only other guys to do it, Choi Soon-ho against Italy way back in 1986, and the legendary defender Hwang In-beom against Spain in 1994. And honestly, the most poetic part of that entire stat, Hwang In-beom is actually South Korea's current head coach. Seriously, you could not write a better script.
Section 5. Data as evidence.
So the crucial point is, this wasn't just a fluke. South Korea held a suffocating 62% of the ball compared to Czechia's 38%. Even when they went down 1-0, they didn't panic, they didn't start resorting to aimless long balls or anything. They just dictated the tempo, completely controlled the midfield, and methodically wore down the Czech defense until the cracks finally started to show.
And this brilliantly illustrates the underlying quality of their chances. The expected goals metric, or XG, backs this up perfectly. South Korea generated 1.83 expected goals to Czechia's 0.81. When you look at those numbers, that 2-1 final score is honestly an almost perfect reflection of the actual threat created out there on the pitch. They flat out earned those 2 goals through sustained high-quality attacking play. Plus, you see that relentless execution across the entire pitch. South Korea completed 468 accurate passes at an 86% success rate, which just proves their composure. They created 3 big chances to Czechia's 1, and crucially, this is huge, they won 56 duels compared to Czechia's 36. So yes, they were technically superior on the ball for sure, but they also simply outfought their opponents when it mattered the most.
Section 6. The 94th minute climax.
Now, imagine the tension here. It is the 94th minute, the absolute dying seconds. Czechia's Adam Hlosek brings the ball into the box, shifts it, and suddenly, out of nowhere, an unmarked Mika Sedilic has the ball directly in front of the goal.
He aims right for the bottom corner to snatch what would have been a totally heartbreaking 2-2 draw. But then, as the live commentary absolutely exploded, Kim Sung-gyu to the rescue! The South Korean goalkeeper miraculously scrambles across his line and parries it away, just an unbelievable sequence to preserve the win.
Section 7. Looking ahead.
So, here's how the group standings shape up after this wild opening round. South Korea is sitting comfortably tied on 3 points with host nation Mexico right at the top of the table. Now, Mexico does hold a very slight edge on goal difference, +2 compared to South Korea's +1, but man, securing those 3 points and handing Czechia 0, that gives South Korea a massive, massive advantage heading into their next matchups against Mexico and South Africa.
They showed tactical discipline, historical individual brilliance from Hwang In-beom, and just incredible mental toughness to survive that stoppage time scare. Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. Can South Korea carry this relentless momentum deep into the 2026 World Cup? If they can play with the exact same heart and precision we saw in that crazy 21-minute comeback, there is really no telling how far this tactically sound, emotionally resilient squad could go. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep your eyes on the pitch.